All right, ladies and gentlemen. So I want to talk about this particular story because it proves a lot of what we've been talking about for months or maybe even a year plus at this point. But when it comes to virtue signaling online, especially on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, this is the biggest problem with what you would call one particular side, usually lefties for the most part. But I do see it on both sides, to be honest with you, but usually on one side. Anyway, that's besides the point. Multiverses is a video game that recently just got announced to be shutting down, right? And the funny thing is, it is now going trending on Twitter, just like the Acolyte did. Just like all these other projects, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, X Defiant, every time these games get threatened to be shut down, or anytime these TV shows get canceled because the modern audience didn't watch it, you get a bunch of people trending all on Twitter, making it go super viral, and yet nobody is playing and supporting the game in any actual tangible way. This is a huge, huge problem in the gaming industry. It's also a huge problem in entertainment as a whole, where you have over on X and Twitter people that will spend their entire day quote tweeting, liking, making things go viral, and pretending as if they care, pretending as if they actually want to play the game should stay, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But the funny thing is, even though you'll get millions of likes and millions of retweets and tons of comments, even though you'll get all of that, the numbers don't change, right? There's no actual tangible change. Nobody's actually supporting your product in any tangible way whatsoever. Nobody is anywhere when you actually need them to support you. So let's get into this article, guys, from The Gamer. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. So it says from The Gamer, Save Multiverses might be trending, but its player count on Steam is not. A Save Multiverses hashtag is trending on Twitter with almost 19,000 posts in less than 24 hours. However, that push to save the game isn't translating to its player count on Steam. Multiverses' 24-hour peak on Steam is 1,320, which isn't even the busiest it has been this week. Multiverses will be shutting down after Season 5. It felt inevitable, but for the few still playing it, it hurts all the same. Some of those still playing who want to be left with more than just an offline mode come June 1st, 2025, are trying to rally people to help get the shutdown decision overturned. So much so that the issue has been trending on Twitter, but it isn't having the desired effect on the game's player count because people don't actually care. That's the point. People don't care. When it comes to virtue signaling on Twitter and on X, they will do so, but not actually support what they are virtue signaling. They do this with everything. These kind of people are the fakest people online. They do this with everything. That's why we make fun of people like Booty Adams, who say they support the modern audience, but then don't actually do so. The ones who say they support woke video games, but don't actually do so. They don't play them, they don't buy them, they don't nothing. They'll ask for a free review code. They'll definitely do that. They'll even ask for some swag, some free press, whatever. They'll ask for that. But when it comes to shelling out money and being like, okay, I'm going to support this, absolutely not. These people are nowhere to be found. And the funny thing is, it's even worse for Multiverses because Multiverses is a free-to-play game. So all these people out here virtue signaling, they won't even give you their time, right? It's not like they got to give you their money. You don't need their money. It's a free-to-play game. But they won't even give you their time. That's how pathetic we are talking these people are. It's so insane. Cartoon Base has been tracking the Save Multiverses hashtag and noted that it's at a peak of 24 hours, almost 19,000 people were talking about it on Twitter. By comparison, Multiverses player count peaked at 1,320 on Steam during the last 24 hours, according to SteamDB. Now, of course, tweeting about your love for the game and vying for it to be saved is a lot easier than hopping back in and going a few rounds with Wonder Woman and Bugs Bunny. However, 1,320 players, while almost double its player count from just a week ago, is barely moving the needle, particularly when Multiverses was pulling in more than 150,000 players on Steam at its peak. It's absolutely insane how hard this game has flopped. It is insane. This game has lost Warner Brothers over $100 million. Why the hell would they want to bring this game back? The fact that they stuck with it to lose that much money just so they can avoid people saying that they shut it down too soon is insane to me. It really is. And it'll never translate. This is why I keep telling people it will never translate into actual tangible support. It just doesn't exist on the side that virtue signals. It just doesn't. 1,300 isn't even the highest number Multiverses has hit on Steam in this week alone. its PC player count almost cracked the 2,000 barrier on Wednesday, the highest it has been since the end of November. However, even that isn't going to be enough to save the game. Surely people are playing on the other platforms, but even if they were to generously assume PlayStation and Xbox are bringing 2,000 more players each to the table, it won't be enough to make Warner Bros. Games change its mind. Even with those imaginary estimates accounted for, those playing the game are still in the minority when compared to those asking for it to be saved on social media. Most of the posts are lobbying for others to share the Save Multiverses hashtag along with them, when really the best course of action would be to rally people to go and actually play the game. It's still free after all. Again, I can't believe I'm agreeing with somebody at the Gamer, which is fucking nuts to me, but that's really what it is, man. People are out here wanting to virtue signal, talking about save this, save that, join the cause, join our social cause. You guys are not actually doing anything. I guarantee you most of the people championing this and trying to make it go viral on Twitter are not even playing the game. So what are we genuinely doing here? Like, you guys are clearly just fake as hell. You're not actually trying to support this. You saw a post, you saw the opportunity to virtue signal with it, and you did it. That's really all it is, man. Multiverses is going to die no matter what, because at the end of the day, you guys are not going to make up that $100 million loss. You guys are not going to shell out money for skins or anything like that. You're just not going to do it. You want to know how I know? Because you're not even playing the game, right? It would be one thing if you were playing the game and then you decide to shell out money, you screenshot it, you show it, and said, hey, I supported the devs. That's something different, but you can't even do that because you're not even playing the game. That is how bad of a situation we are in right now. It says, well, some people paid for it, and some of those now want their money back. There was a $100 Founders Pack option when the Multiverses beta launched, and the biggest draw of the pack was the 30 character tokens. And since these aren't going to be any more characters after Season 5's Lola and Aquaman, many of those tokens will go to waste, hence the refund request. Yeah, they're not going to do it. They're not going to refund it. They're going to find every way possible to avoid refunding this because they're giving you the offline mode. So to them, that is enough to say, okay, well, you got what you paid for. Essentially, right? The game is free. You paid for the tokens. What you really did was pay for the tokens. That's how they're going to get their legal loophole. They're going to say, well, you paid for the tokens. You didn't pay for the characters. You paid for the tokens. And then you're going to use the tokens to buy the characters, but the game's not out anymore or not doing any more content, so you can't buy any more characters, but you got your money's worth because you technically bought the tokens. That's the way they're going to legally loophole your ass out of court. And this is why buying fake currency in order to use on in-game items is the biggest crock of shit in gaming, and is the biggest loophole legally that these lawyers are going to utilize against people who ask for refunds on fake items, because they always say you bought the currency, you didn't buy the item. That's their loophole. So Multiverses ultimately is going to die. Obviously, we know that already. These people virtue signaling on Twitter are not going to change a single thing because they just won't. They refuse to. They refuse to play the games. They don't play video games. They just rather virtue signal on Twitter. That's all they want to do. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.